Good afternoon and welcome to a demonstration on how to reverse engineer your network configuration and security files in order to generate a low-level design document within 5 minutes. So this is our platform here, VirtualSME. It's a network, cybersecurity and data center SME. The SME stands for subject matter experts. So to start with, you go ahead and you click on Explore Services. And when you log into the platform, it will bring you to our chatbot screen, which we call Infra GPT. I'm not going to demonstrate the chatbot here, but what you can do is you can actually submit queries and get answers directly back from your network. We will be producing other videos, and if you search our YouTube channel, you will see those details. Today I'm going to focus on the documentation as is here. So you go ahead and you click on this button, and you will see a low-level design link here. So when you click on here, it will bring you to a generate low-level design button. So you come here, the first thing you do is you'll select the site which you want to have documented. So one thing about a platform, if you don't know, is everything we do is based around sites. So you can select a site, you can generate a full PCERT report, best practice report, you can have a field notice report, you can get a STIG report, and so on and so forth. You can have topologies drawn per site, and the low-level design document is also based on the same concept. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to select a site here. So we're going to select Oman. So that's just a site that we made up. I'm going to give the document now a title. So we'll just call it low-level design. We'll call it design demonstration. Okay, yeah, and then we can go ahead and click on next. We can then select the industry we're in, right? And that kind of, the AI then gives your lower level design document a little bit of context. So here, for example, I'll select oil and gas. Actually, let me go ahead and select banking and financial services. You then click on next. It will then ask you what level of detail do you want? Do you want a high level amount of detail, so it's a high level document, or do you want a balanced level, or do you want a deep dive and go really exhaustive? And for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to click on balanced detail, but even that you'll see will go to quite a low level amount of detail. And it's quite surprising that when we actually first did this, we were actually surprised at how much data it will extract about your network, things that you wouldn't even typically know. You then select your target audience. Are you writing this document for network engineers or systems administrators or security engineers, managers, etc.? So for now, I'm going to select network engineers. You can in fact write multiple low-level design documents with different audiences, right? It's entirely up to yourself. And then we also have something around compliance frameworks. Do you want us to insert some context about whether you're compliant with certain frameworks in the low-level design document? Once you've finished your selections, you go ahead and you click on next. At this point, you now come to the table of contents. So the question now you have to ask is how much detail and what kind of information do you want to see in your lower level design document? Now what we've built here is an exhaustive list of what we think should be in a lower level design document. I mean, we came from Cisco, so we spent years building documents, and we became really good at it. And so if you open one of these, you'll see it actually has so much information in there, right? So it's up to you. Now, in terms of the demonstration today, I'm not going to go through all of this because it will literally take a long time for it to develop. So I'm just going to select on a few things. So I'm going to select on things like maybe physical topology. I want to see what the actual topology looks like. I'm going to say, for example, give me show me all the services which are enabled. So I'm just selecting a few things in order to make the video nice and short. And once I've selected that, I can come to the bottom of the page, and I will select next. Then it will ask me a few more things like, do I want to see AI powered network diagrams? Do I want education explanations, and so on and so forth? Once I've selected that, I then click on generate low level design document, and you will see here it will now actually start generating a low level design document for you. Now I'm sure when you see this it will look very familiar because we've all seen low level design documents, but I'm sure we haven't ever seen them being written this quickly before. You'll see here we have something called a changelog summary. So one of the things that we have built into the platform is if somebody does make a change to the network, we will detect that change, and we will actually create a table under this heading and we will actually document who made the change, what was the change, and at the end of the document we actually have the actual change. So we're tracking all of the change which take place. So you'll see here now the document started. You can see here the devices. I'll try and point out some things as we go on. You can see we have switches, Cisco switches. We also have Aruba switches. We also have firewalls, FortiGate. We also have things like this one is a Palo Alto device. You can see the software versions that are running. Yeah, you might probably notice that our lab's a little bit out of date. It is a bit of an old lab environment. Here you can see the port connectivity. So it's telling you this device on this particular port is connected to another device on another particular port. So based upon that, we can actually draw a diagram. Right, so you see here things like power design, the PSU. These are some things you wouldn't necessarily pick up as a network engineer. I mean, this document does go into a huge amount of detail. And some of the things you'll notice here is as we're generating the document, we're actually not just generating document, we're actually looking for some potential inconsistencies also in the document. So for example, you might have some services enabled, as you see here. So let's just take one example, like NTP. And you notice, okay, it's configured consistently on 3 devices, but oh, on this Aruba device here, you haven't actually configured it, or on the FortiGate and the Palo Alto. So that will then prompt you to go and make a change on the network so you can bring it in line. And over time, this is going to help you streamline your whole network. And obviously, if you do make a change, we have a button down here, you can see here, check network changes, and that will actually detect the change, upload the change log, it will update the table as well. So your table, your document's always up to date. That can be important for things like compliance. There are some cybersecurity frameworks out there which demand that you have to have you have to have up-to-date network documentation. So you can see here the document's finished writing. You'll see here finalizing progress 100% complete. You've got now things like diagrams in here which actually shows exactly all the different devices, how they're interconnected with each other. All the tables are fully populated. You can see what else can I show you in here? So you can see here things like NTP. So it's actually picked up that, look, it is configured, but here you haven't actually got it configured. Your AAA design, yes, you've got partly, you've got it configured here, but it's actually missing in other places. SNMP design. So you can see all of that. And I didn't actually time that, but I think, yeah, looking at the length of the video, it's 7 minutes. So yeah, so we're talking about 5 plus maybe a few more minutes to actually generate an entire low-level design document. I mean, that's just a very quick intro. There's a lot more to this. If this is something which you think is interesting or could be useful to your organization, then please feel free to contact us. I'm more than happy to come and give you a demonstration or even give you access so you can play with it. It would be our pleasure to work with you. So I think that's everything for today. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm looking forward to communicating with you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.